Hey there, this is episode 46 of Album Review, and today I have the fourth album by David Bowie, which is of course Hunky Dory. Yeah, just an absolute classic album again, and this is the second album I'm doing by David Bowie. The first one was, how's that album called again? The Ziggy Stardust, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. There we are, a concept album. But this is considered to be the definitive, how's it called again, the definitive breakthrough from David Bowie, because he had three other albums, the Space Oddity, which was mixed but had of course the great song Space Oddity on there, but just not the most all around best record of him. And of course the self-titled, which was a bit, it was a bit nasally, it was a bit underproduced. It was, David Bowie was still finding his ways into his music, so the Man Who Sold the World was a more decent record, but just everything came together, or just Hunky Dory is just the definitive breakthrough for David Bowie, and he hasn't looked back since after Hunky Dory. Of course, the amazing songwriting by David Bowie and the great production on here, the great acoustics, the acoustic guitar, the just everything in general just came together on Hunky Dory. And he, well, most people consider Hunky Dory and the next album, The Rise and Fall, to be his greatest albums. But I already did that, so if you're curious about my opinion about that album, then click on that video. But we're talking about today about Hunky Dory, and I definitely enjoyed it. It was a very great listen overall. The album was over before I knew it. It is only 41 minutes. Let's get a bit into the track listing. Of course, the opener is Changes, and Changes is one of the most popular David Bowie songs, I believe. It starts off with just a great acoustic guitar, and just David Bowie saying that if you want some change in your life, that you gotta take care about that. You have to take care of that for yourself. You cannot live your entire life by your parents, for example, or you have to change something up for yourself, and that the only way to really reach that is by changing yourself, or just if something is not going right, then changes have to be in place. I just really like the motivation that the song gives me, the message behind it, and just the great vocals by David Bowie make this just an actually perfect opener of Hunky Dory, and remains a David Bowie classic. Some other songs I really loved are of course Life on Mars. Life on Mars is just really one of those David Bowie songs that you just have to hear once in your life. It is a masterpiece, of course. Really love the piano playing on here, and of course David Bowie is asking, is there any life on Mars? And that is actually a good question. I just really love the song. I really love all the arrangements on it. Really love the melodic singing by David Bowie. The notes he reaches throughout the song, low, high, in the middle. He can go emotional, he can go in depth, he can just do everything with Life on Mars, and it is just a good question. Is there life on Mars? And it was a good question around the time. I believe we have discovered now that there isn't any life, but maybe there is. But David Bowie asked a good question, and he delivered with the song, man. Absolute masterpiece. A song I really liked as well is Quicksand, and this is talking, of course, about all the things that are in your life as a celebrity, the quicksand, the fans, of course, all the things, all the shit you get over you because you are in the quicksand, and you feel like you cannot move anywhere else because of those fans, aka the Quicksand. Yeah, I just really love the acoustic guitar on here, really love it. It is also one of the longest songs, 5 minutes. Now, it is the second longest song on the album, really love long songs. This one is 5 minutes. Quicksand is a great closer, really love, like I said, all the arrangements on there. Yeah, it is just pretty much just a great song to listen to. One of the highlights I would say, because it has actually a length, because the other songs on side 1 are 2 and 3 minutes, but Quicksand is 5, so I really like that. And yeah, it's just a great song overall, really love all the arrangements on it, like I said, and yeah, remains also just a David Bowie classic, love it. And side 2 is a bit more filled with songs about inspirations that David Bowie had, like the opener "Fill Your Heart," which was written by Biff Rose and Paul Williams. I believe I believe the song, a bit of the songwriter for David Bowie, or he wrote it everything, but maybe "Fill Your Heart" is a cover. I'm not sure, but it was a delicate opener. It was something different again for David Bowie. Really loved it. It is just a great opener for side 2, and yeah, it was just very beautiful to hear. And Andy Warhol is the second song of side 2, and this is talking about, of course, the inspiration that David Bowie had from Andy Warhol, a great inspiration to him. And to hear the song, it is just very melodic to hear, very inspirational. It's, yeah, just David Bowie thought to himself, you got to have the people that inspired me. You got to have those people on your album, and he definitely did that with Andy Warhol. Just a great song to listen to, also great inspiration for David Bowie, and yeah, I think it remains one of his most personal songs, because Andy Warhol really means a lot to him. And I mean, we got David Bowie thanks to Andy Warhol, I believe, so that is always a good thing. Track number 9 is Song for Bob Dylan, and of course everyone knows Bob Dylan. I thought to myself that he was going to shame Bob Dylan, that he was gonna say some really mean things because they may have some issues with each other, but he was actually really nice. He only said that Bob Dylan has a bit of a nasally voice. It sounds a bit like scratchy, some stuff like that. Yeah, I just really like that David Bowie really doesn't care about what other people of him think, and just releases a song like Song for Bob Dylan. I mean, not everyone tries and dares to do that, but David Bowie does, and it sounded great. The production on it was amazing, and yeah, I just really loved the song. Track number 10 is Queen Bitch, and I mean, I'm usually not a big fan of people swearing, but he actually didn't swear in the song, I believe. But I believe he's talking about a gold digger, stuff like that. I have this feeling also that some females, or also some males, can be really bitchy, and can just are just really rich, really spoiled, and are still fucking bitches because they just are, because they got treated really softly their entire life, so they are queen bitch right now, or they were their entire life. So I think the song is about that. If it is, then it is very relatable to me, because I know a lot of people like that. Yeah, it is just one of those songs that decide to that David Bowie really doesn't give a fuck about anyone's opinion, and just says, I'm just writing a song like Queen Bitch. He really didn't care, and it sounds very raw in my opinion. The vocals, the lyrics itself are just really in your face, and David Bowie just really didn't care about anyone's opinion. He just wrote it what he had on his mind and heart, and I really love that about songwriters when they do that. More people should be more like that, but unfortunately they don't. You just don't have a second David Bowie. There is just one. The 11th and final song of this album is the Bewlay Brothers. And I believe this is a inspiration for David Bowie as well. This is also the longest song of the album. And this is probably just the greatest acoustic guitar on the entire song or on the entire album. Really love the length of it. It is a great closer. Can't really say a lot about it because I've just listened to this album once, so maybe I'm gonna listen to it again. But the Bewlay Brothers were, I think, an inspiration for David Bowie. Definitely a highlight, I would say, one of my favorites, together with Changes, Life on Mars, Quicksand. Songs like that, and Bewlay Brothers is definitely up there because of the great arrangements, the great piano playing, of course, the great acoustic guitar. Yeah, really love the length, really love the closing song of Hunky Dory. The Bewlay Brothers, probably a big inspiration for David Bowie. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the David Bowie expert, but I like his music, so request more albums and you will get them. But yeah, for this album, Hunky Dory, it was for me a very enjoyable listen overall. I would not say as great as Ziggy Stardust. I think that album is slightly better, but this album still gets a 9.62 for me. It still was a really great album and I really loved it. I think the only problem I have with the album is that it is not very special to me, or I just don't think it is perfect. I think it's near perfect though, because all the songs are just really good. But I don't think that it is a album for me. I think if that sounds logical to me, but I really like David Bowie, but I just don't think that. Yeah, maybe with repeated listens, then I would really love David Bowie, but I just like him, and his albums are really great, but I wouldn't say they're perfect. But maybe with repeated listens, I will say they're perfect. So we're gonna see. But thank you for watching this video. I really love this album. Give it a listen for yourself, or maybe you have multiple times. Maybe you think it is a perfect album, so let me know your opinion in the comments down below and I will react to it. Comment to it, stuff like that. But yeah, that was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this album review. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, to the channel to be notified for more videos like this one. And yeah, without further ado, without any more to say, have a nice day. God bless, stay safe and take care.